Just below freezing, but a sunny day. Got to work on my truck. My gauge is there where the prindle is. Can't see it, so I got to take that apart, solder that. The X3 blower motor fan isn't working, so I ordered the resistor for that. Should be in the next couple days. Lots to do. Got another piece of trim I need for my wife's front porch, the sunroom. Rebuilt that while she was away in Mexico. Just needed one more piece of trim. Got the furnace on in here, it's nice and warm. It's just that it's noisy. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna weld, tack weld this, paint it, sandblast it, paint it, change that tire. Might do that right now. I did order some fork seals, 15 bucks. It won't be until next week, but I can pull it apart and get it all drained. It's guaranteed I'm gonna get this bike on the road and I'll take it out for a test drive and it's gonna start leaking. So I may as well do it now. It's simpler and easy right now. A couple other things I gotta do. I got so much to do, it's nuts. But yeah, I just let this thing drain all night. Nothing in there. Got to replace this oil line. It looks like this one's been replaced. It's got a different clamp on it. But I'm going to replace this oil line. And I'll take this cover off. Clean the tappet screen. Pull the oil filter off. It's down there. Get this all flushed out. I got to still solder the ignition wires back together here. I still haven't soldered the signal lights on. They were all installed improperly in the wrong holes. Lots to do. Too much. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that oil filter off right now. Get that drained. What? I'm gonna stick your gloves on, Jeff. Getting dirty already. It's a habit I should get into. I'll probably get cancer someday. All the chemicals absorbed through my skin. These look like hospital ones. Okay. Okay. So, what next? I got my tire changer over there. I could change that. So much to do. I think we'll check this tappet screen in here. It's something that you should do. You don't have to do it every oil change, but should do it at least once a year. It's a special socket. It's called the drag link socket. I used to have one. I can't find it. but I've got one out of my impact driver. It's not quite big enough, but see if I can make that work. Holy crap, that thing's just loose. Where's this oil coming from? That thing's just finger loose. Holy. See, I gotta check everything on this bike. I just have to double check everything. There's like a trail of oil right along that gasket there. I'm tempted to buy an oil pressure gauge and put it in here. Well, I think I'm gonna. And I think I'll get a new drag link socket. I don't know. Maybe that's the check ball one. I'm not sure. I don't see the screen in that one. That might be the check ball. It might be the one behind it, which means I've got to undo this hose here, which is rotted out, which I got to do. So missing a socket here. Oh, that's the one. Okay, undo this hose here. This is the hose that's all cracked. It's got to be changed. And again, get rid of all these clamps too. These squirrel clamps, whatever they're called. They're junk. Do it all now while the oil's out of it. Put this back in here for now. That must be the check valve one. I'll check this other one. I guess I could get the manual out and check. That hose just pulled apart in two pieces. Oh, that's how bad it is. I got a feeling this bike's been sitting for a few years. Okay. Before I pull that one off, 'cause I think it goes in this one. Got another motor over here. Let's check this motor. Yeah, this is where it is. It's this one. I didn't see it on this one. Oh, they got a chrome nut on it. That's why. I'm sure it's in this one here. Let me tighten this one back on. I'm sure it's in this one. It's I think 11/16 or something. Three-quarters. I keep digging into little projects on this bike, not finishing any of them. Well, I got the engine back together, got the car back together, but I get so many things pulled apart. There's the screen there with the spring over top of it. Flush that out. There is a little bit of sediment on there. You can see I got the oil washed off, and you can kind of see the sediment on there. Inside too. Got to get my compressor going, I guess. Blow that out. I want to push my baby fingers good. Cleaned it out as best I can. Looks pretty good. I just pulled that oil line out of there. Guaranteed that's the original oil line, 1985. Just pulling apart in my hands. Oh yeah, hopefully I got enough of the new stuff. Yeah, I just found some more line. I must have had two pieces. Oil filter. These are the high compression clamps. They're a lot better than those squirrel ones. It'd be nice if that starter motor was out of there, make it a lot easier. Then I got to pull the primary off, which I'm gonna. Check all that out. Just goes on and on. I just want to get it running. Let's see if the bike runs. There's no washer on this thing. Thought there would have been a copper washer. I'm going to look around for a washer for this. I know why they replaced all the other lines and not this line. Because yeah, you pretty much got to take the starter motor off. I might have a trick. I might have a... You can't stick it down this way because it hits the back of the transmission and the swing arm. You can't stick it down this way because it hits the transmission. It's got to go like a big loop like this, so it's really hard to do. If I could get a chaser wire in there, I might be able to pull it up and around. That's what I'm going to try. See if I can wrap it with a wire. Okay, I think I found a new way how to do it. Go backwards the other way. I'm stuck. I don't want to put the hose down. Come on. Okay. Okay, yeah, coming up over the swing arm with the wire. I think that's going to be the way. I just should have tied the wire closer to the end. Look around that bar there. Put this on a little bit of an angle. I'm gonna have to flush this hose out too when I do this. Square one. Okay, third try. Could put a little oil on it, I guess. Sure if the camera even in there, but here. Hitting something. Spot. There we go. She's close. She's getting close. Rubbing up against the sensor wire. Yeah, I'm crossed over that sensor wire right here. I'm right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of the two of them. Jammed right up against it there, eh? What are the chances of that? I'm out, but I'm right up against the wires are crossed right over top of it. What are the chances? There we go, it's hung up on the wire. The wires were crossed over top of this thing. We didn't wreck the wires. Real shitty way how they got these things routed, eh? That's gonna go under like that. There. I'm gonna cut off a fresh slice here. Clamp on there. Screwdriver. Screwdriver. I put the screw underneath, but I can't really get at it, so I'm gonna put it like that. And these are hex nuts too. I'm pretty sure my driver will screw that in there. Next size bigger. You can put a socket on them. It's much neater and cleaner than these squirrel screw ones. They chew up the rubber. The fiber comes out. I'm going to replace them all right now. These hoses are good enough for now. They're going to be good for another year, so I might replace this one. This one looks good. One at a time. Okay, got that line replaced. Replaced a few of the clamps that I only had 4 clamps. Replaced these 2. I got to get another pack of clamps and do the other one. Yeah, took off the stock Sportster or FXR clamps, muffler clamps. There was that one. And there was a hose clamp here for this, but I didn't like the way it went around here, and it kind of rubbed onto this bolt, so I like it more like that. Less chance of kinking. Yeah, it was weeping a little bit in that gasket, but that's because I loosened off these 2 bolts, so I just snugged that up for now. And we'll get this thing all running here at some point and see if we got any leaks anywhere, maybe a couple road trips. And this thing's all bent. Bend that back out. Okay, still got to change the tires and then weld that bracket, the fork brace in the front fender. Well, there's the profile of it. Got it welded and ground down. I tried sandblasting with my sandblaster, but it doesn't touch that paint they got on there. I'm gonna take it to Peter, get him to sandblast it on the big sandblaster, and maybe he's got a grinder that can fit in there. I'm not a good welder, but that's penetrated through. Okay, I got that done, and I sandblasted the brake calipers while I had the sandblaster going. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I gotta get some black paint, get everything painted. I'm even gonna clean up the rust inside in here, give it a little undercoating. Next thing is to pull the fork lowers off, pop the seals out, and they should be in a couple days. Okay. Okay, gonna try to change this tire here. Got a cheap Harbor Freight motorcycle beaster. First thing, I take the valve out. Don't know if there's any air in here. I might have an issue with this fork brace. There's the valve stem. These are the handiest little tools if you can ever find one of them at a garage sale or swap market. It's got a little die on the inside for threads and a little takeout part there. It's good for pulling tubeless valve stems back in. Okay, let's see. I'll use this thing a couple times. Don't change tires too often, but there's a little, I should get you down here lower. I don't know if you've ever used one of these things before or any sort of thing like this, but these are at Harbor Freight. You want to put this right next to the rim. That's where this is going to go to. It's kind of curved a little bit to follow the rim. This is an old, stiff tire. Actually, the rubber part goes on the inside of the rim, on the back. This part goes here. Try not to scratch the rim as it slides off. Oh boy. Restart it. Move this over here. I got a pipe I can put on there. Oh, see, that's an old tire. Oh, geez. Like seized on there. Brake that bead all the way around. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of soapy water with you. I do have some water there. It makes it a lot easier. Okay. Make sure that's broken good all the way around. Go to the other side. Keeps wanting to slide down over the rim. I'm trying to hold it back from scratching the rim. She's just rotted on there. See where it's good to have a little bit of soapy water around there. Doing it on a chunk of carpet here too, so I don't scratch the rotors up. There we go. One more time. There we go. It's just going to make it easier for getting off. There we go. Okay. Harbor Freight even sells these. I've had these for 40, 35 years. I have a third one, but I think I gave it away. Should have kept it. It's handy to have a third one. So I lock that one underneath the disc. Pop this one out. Sometimes this will slip, so lock that one under. Take this one out. Lock that one under. Take this one out. Should stay out now. There's one side, and that's why you got this curve in here. This is for sticking it in around that edge and getting it under the other side like that. So there it is right there. The tool coming through on the other side. Just leave that like that and do the same with this one. Sometimes this is where it's sometimes nice to have another screwdriver because this wants to pop down. All right, let's try this one. They sell them like this without the curve in it, just a flat one. That's really all you need. Just something to hold that bead from dropping down. There, you can hear it when it goes in. Get that one in. Get this one out. The old one. These tires are directional. Some tires you can use for front or rear wheel, and they'll have a direction for both directions, the same tire. And then other tires are just meant to be fronts, and sometimes you can tell by the pattern, but often they'll have an arrow. There's an arrow right there, front. You can see that right there. And then the other thing to look for is the yellow paint dot. In this case it's orange right there. But the only thing I don't know is the direction of this rim. I don't think it has a directional arrow on it. And the guy I bought it off, they told me it was on backwards, spinning the speedometer backwards. So both sides look identical. Like, it has the drive for the speedo on the left and the right side, so I think it's identical. I'm going to clean this all up first. I'm going to pop the seals out, and I think I'm going to repack the bearings. I'm probably going to have to order new seals because these things are seized right in there. Pop it up. There we go. I might be able to reuse these. These are tapered roller bearings in here. I wasn't expecting that. Huh. They look pretty grody, so probably is a good thing I'm taking them out. There's a spacer between the two bearings. There's the races. Yeah, it looks like you can put this wheel on either way, left or right. It's just a matter where you want to place your speedo drive, on the left hand side or right hand side, so it's not going to matter. But when I do put the tire on, it can only go on one way from that point on. I could probably get these seals locally at a bearing supply store. It's luckily I'm pulling them apart. There's very little grease in there, dirtier than hell. I'll flush them out, clean them out really good. But they're not pitted, or there's no grooves worn in the races. I'll flush it out good. Your finger's the best feeling. You know, if you're looking for any kind of grooves or bumps, nice and smooth. I do see like some little lines, a little bit of lines from sitting for so long, but nothing there. So I'll put the wheel on. So all motorcycle tires, even automobile tires, will have a dot. This has got like an orange one here. Usually it's a yellow dot or white. This one's got orange, the only dot that I see, so. I'm gonna go by that. It's the only dot. So we're gonna put that dot by the valve stem. That indicates that's the, this is the lightest part of the tire when they spin it. Compensates for the weight of the valve stem. Just trying to get one side, not trying to get both beads on at the same time, just one. It's a bit of a magic act. Sometimes you got to use the flat side when you get down to the last few inches. There. Set that there. Lube this side. There's actually a special lubricant they sell just for tires. Soap and water works good. It evaporates off. Don't use WD-40 or any oil. Use my knees to hold it down. You want to make sure this side over here is pressed down to make this side easier to go on. There we go. See? It locks it up if you don't get that. Make sure that's all the way down over here. Make sure that's down. Got to use the flat side to get the last little bit. Oh, get up there. Come on, right there. Okay. Let's get some air. Okay. It'd be nice to have a big compressor to blast a whole pile of air in here all at once. I don't. So hopefully I got enough air to put the chuck back in there. Put the valve stem back in. Sometimes you need if the tire's been sitting for a long time, like this tire, it gets warped in one spot and it won't catch the air. But I think this is good. And a little bit of water helps to seal. There's a whole bunch of tricks to do with it. There we go, I can feel it catching. I just want to show you up close here. You'll see this tire, there's this line right here. And you want that equal all the way around. You can see here, it's going underneath the aluminum, then it comes back up over here. You got to put enough air in so that's perfectly even all the way around on both sides of the tire. And that's what the lubricant's for. Otherwise your tire is not seated properly. And you can put in, I'm being told, up to a maximum of 90 pounds at pressure. I hate to do an aluminum rim in case it blows it apart, but to get it seated. But often if you just, I don't like to go over 60 or 70 PSIs in there. And that often works, especially when it's wet. But if you let the air out a couple times, put some more lubricant on it and then blast it back up to 60 or 70, it'll seat and it'll often like pop like a big bang. We'll keep going here. See the bubbles coming out over there? Come on. How much air I got in there right now? 40 pounds. Come on. Damn. Air leaking out over there. See it right there? start over again. I just don't have enough air volume to give it a good blast to seat this over here. It's just leaking out. Okay, let's try this again. On some ATV tires, we've had to tie belts and ropes around them to get them to sit flat. Come on. Here's another trick. This is giving you a good lesson of what can happen. It's almost there. Maybe I can see the line. Now it's blown out this side. See how much air is in there. That's way more than that. Way more air than that in there. Okay, we're at about 40 pounds. Come on. There we go. It's coming. It's not perfectly even yet, but I'm gonna leave it sit there. I probably got 50 pounds in there. Let's see this side. This side's pretty even all the way around. Doesn't hurt with a rubber hammer to hit the rubber tire. Still a little tight right there. Higher than this side. It's maxing this thing out like at 45. Let's see this one. This one I don't trust. All right, let's let that sit. I'm gonna get some seals and repack those bearings, and that tire's ready to go. But I'll show you what my issue is. This is what I'm worried about. Where's that? Right there. That's gonna be tight on there. Might not work. May not work. It's narrow. It's narrow right in here. So I think I just got to spread this out a little bit there. I think that'll work. Yeah, we'll screw around with it some more. Okay, just gonna let that sit. It's probably got 50 pounds in there. It's been sitting about an hour now, and it's pretty even all the way around. I might let it out one more time. Might be a little tighter on this side than that side. I'll balance it as well too. I'll do a static balance of this tire because I can see there's right here, there's a bunch of weights. I'm gonna leave that on there because that might be just balancing the rim and not the tire. So when I get the bearings, everything all melted in there, we'll do a simple static balance. I can show you how I do it anyways, without the machine, get it pretty close. That's gonna be it for today. I'll put this video on now because it's just about an hour long. Thanks for watching.